Welcome back, guys. Only the Strong Education series today. Thank you for tuning in. What we're talking about today, really simple: protein shakes or real food. You'll hear this discussion, countless times over and over and over. You'll have some people who say real food, they'll preach real food to death. You have some people who preach protein shakes. What is the answer? We're going to carve away at it a little bit here, and we'll kind of see where we get from there. Okay, so we have a few questions. So first, what is protein? Protein can be defined as a macronutrient, guys. I'm not going to go into the details. Really simple. Think of it as a building block for your body. It's a really important building block, one of a few building blocks to help you be successful in your endeavors in everyday life. What is real food? Real food is designed of a bunch of different macronutrients, protein being one of them, designed to help you contain and continue your sustenance and your livelihood on a day-to-day basis. Okay, so now that we have a running definition of kind of the both of them, the next point is, which should I have? The answer is not really simple. Ideally, you want to think of what is the purpose you are having such. So I'm just going to kind of throw it out there right off the bat. It's a little bit of a trick question, or a question that's begging the answer. You should always be having real food. I don't care what the top pro trainer on the web with 17 testimonials of girls who lost 100 pounds in 100 days tells you. If you stop eating real food, guys, there's a lot of issues that can develop in the long term, not just physical in terms of digestion, but psychological and even emotional. There's a lot of issues that can be developed from there. So real food is always a definite. It's always that number one threshold you are going to want to have. Should I have protein? Yes, it absolutely should have protein. There's so many benefits to protein, and you will have protein in real food. That's something important to note. Should you have a supplemental protein? That's where the next question comes in. Okay, so do I need it? I've already answered. Yes, you need real food in order for you to survive. Food, water, sleep, some other things as well are super important for your day-to-day livelihood and to be able to survive and be a fully functioning human being. But protein, yes, you do, in terms of, as I mentioned, it is a macronutrient. It is a building block. It helps you retain, build, repair muscle tissue as one of the big precursors. Do I need it? Do you need protein supplements? The answer is yes and no. If you are someone who's looking to build an inordinate amount of muscle, you've been training for a long time, you haven't seen the result you're looking for, this might be an opportunity to get into, and it might be something you want to explore a little bit because it gives you the opportunity to see what can I do using something that is completely legal and something that is moderately, to say, natural, depending on where you get it from. What can I do with my body with a supplementation element? Now, if you're someone that just got into fitness and wellness and so on and so forth, do not waste your time with protein shakes. Protein shakes are only as good as the exercise regime and the commitment you have outside of them. So you can drink all the protein in the world. If you're really not doing anything with that protein, so many things are going to happen and so many things will not happen. One of the big things you'll find, the studies will tell you that the body tends to store protein until you need it. So you can be gobbling protein all that you want. If you are intaking a ton of protein and you don't really need it, your body will store it for usage later on. That's what one study will tell you. Another study will tell you that the overindulgence of protein will lead to you putting on an inordinate amount of weight. Now, remember, weight and muscle are two different things. I know there's people who want to gain weight out there, but generally when they say gain weight, they mean muscle. Putting on weight is not always a great thing. Remember, guys, everyone's body has a set space and base in which it's normally comfortable in terms of operating at. The more you tend to gain weight, whether natural or unnatural, you throw your body off of that homeostasis or that state of balance. So the more over or underweight that you are, your body now must compensate with other elements in order to make things happen, whether it be eating more, whether it be your blood pressure goes up, whether it be your heart rate goes up. So things that are just natural occurrences tend to happen just to ensure that you're able to kind of keep the processes of life going on a day-to-day basis. Another good example, people who are heavier set, a little bit overweight to morbidly obese, tend to have tons of joint issues. Why? Because your body is finding it hard to cope with carrying the weight. And so you have compensations that will lead to issues in the long run. So, do I need it? If you're trying to gain weight, you're on a strict building phase and you're really looking to put on either muscle, strength, or recover for a high level of intensity training, then yes, it'd be a great opportunity to get into. If you're someone who's brand new into fitness, skip the protein shakes for now. Just get comfortable going to the gym consistently 3 or 4 times a week. Get comfortable with the process. Add in clean eating. Clean eating is for a whole other conversation. But adding elements of what you deem to be clean eating, and you will see phenomenal results getting started. Protein shakes is something that down the road you can definitely delve right into. Okay. So why bother now is the question. So when we're talking about why bother, so, there's a lot of people out there trying to achieve a result. They want to get out and they want to achieve a result, whether it's I want to be bigger, I want to be smaller, I want to be leaner, I want to be toned, I want to be jacked, I want to be whatever the result is. Why bother indulging in something like protein or even real food? Because it helps with the growth process, guys. It's been said, studies will tell you that it is 20 minutes maximum you have of what we call prime or peak intake time after you finish your workout in order to get some form of protein into your body. What does this mean? This means after that 20-minute period, your body becomes a state or gets to a state of a catabolic nature, and it starts to look for that protein or that amino acid build. It starts to look for it elsewhere. The only other place it can find it is in the muscle you currently have. So this goes back to, I talked about the cardio bunny a few weeks ago in one of my posts. This goes back to the cardio bunny effect. So the person who hits endless amounts of cardio loses weight, but loses just that weight. They lose muscle, they lose fat, they lose everything altogether. If you just beat your body up over and over again and you don't teach it how to repair, it will break down and you will lose weight, but you won't look the way that you want to. So why bother? It's important to understand that as much emphasis you put on training your body, you must also put emphasis on the recovery element. So if I break the muscle down, it also needs time then to repair. It needs time to recover, it needs time to regenerate before you go back into activity. High-level athletes need shorter time to recover. They train the body to be able to get there, but very few people in this world are high-level athletes. So unless you're in that category, understand that you do need some sort of element to help you recover if you were trying to seriously strength train or change your body in any way, shape, or fashion. Last point we have down here, guys, is what type. So what type should I have, guys? I hear this all the time. People will say, I'm vegan, I'm vegetarian, I'm all these other things, and I just don't know. Do yourself a favor, do some research. We have what we call complete and incomplete protein. For as simple of a definition as I want for this particular topic here, think of complete as a higher quality of protein, incomplete as a lesser quality, for a simple definition. So you will find a lot of complete protein in animals, animal meat, or in meat in general. You will find a lot of incomplete protein in things like nuts, so on and so forth. So what does this mean? This means that for someone who's vegetarian, you can still steer towards the hemp seed, the nuts in order to get protein out of it, but the quality of the protein is a little bit smaller than it would be in the raw meat. So you will have to look for some sort of supplementation in order to get that taken care of. Now, there are also protein or supplement drinks that are made out of, let's say, the hemp seeds or the soys or whatever you're looking for in the long run. So in terms of what type, understand that you do need protein, guys, but you need complete quantities of protein. If you were intaking incomplete, then you're going to need more. There's nobody out there that's going to tell you, oh, you can't gain weight if you're vegan or vegetarian. That's not true. You just have to be smart about it. All right. So the last thing I want to touch base on when it comes to, understanding protein and understanding, intaking or should I or what it's all about is, guys, don't complicate it. Make it really, really simple. Just eat. Eat what's natural to you. Eat what you make. Eat what you prepare. A small hint, there's studies that have suggested that protein cycling, yes, protein cycling is super important for the longevity of your health in terms of being able to intake protein. What does this mean? This means don't eat one type of protein all the time. Don't just eat chicken breast because Bodybuilder Extremo on bodybuilding.com said eat chicken breast. You're gonna want to cycle. So whether that's through ground beef, pork, elk, deer, whatever you're eating, cycle through your protein because your body ingests different types of proteins in different types of ways. So in the long story short, in the protein shake versus real food category, spend a lot of time talking about protein shakes, guys, but at the end of the day, nothing beats real food. Don't let it fool you. Real food all the way. Protein supplements when you need it. It's been another great Only the Strong education series. Thank you for tuning in. Have a great day. Peace.